Hey team, so here is the nutrition and 8-week seminar recap video if you guys didn't make it to the seminar that we had in our 3 gyms. So today we're going to talk about the 8-week challenge overview, how to set goals, diets versus flexible dieting, your BMR, TDEE and total calories, your protein intake, a TDEE video on how to figure out your calories, Code 5 top tracking tips, and a MyFitnessPal video. And then any questions during the seminar, guys, just comment on the post and we'll make sure a coach is there to answer them at the end. So the 8-week challenge overview, all about flexible dieting. So following a flexible dieting protocol, staying accountable and motivated, and remembering that everyone inside this group is all like-minded people wanting the same end result, whether their result be losing weight, dropping body fat, putting on muscle mass, you're all here for the same reason. You also have access to a weekly education and interactive post within this group. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, there will be a post created by one of the trainers. Just make sure that you are staying interactive with those posts as well. And as you guys know, it's $49 entry into this challenge. And this is because we partner with Lifeline and the cost is $25 per call to save a life. So if you're watching this video right now or you're inside this 8-week challenge group, you guys have all saved a life, which is absolutely incredible. So congratulations. So setting your goals. You would have seen in the PDF files section on this page this flexible dieting seminar sheet, and you'll see that you have 8-week goals and 6 months goals that you are there to fill out. So when we're setting our goals, we want to make sure they're SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. So making sure you have a specific goal. So instead of your goal being, I want to lose weight, how much weight do you want to lose? Is it 5 kilos? Is it 10 kilos? Is it 40 kilos? Do you want to lose a certain percent of body fat? Do you want to put on a certain kilos of muscle? What is your specific goal? Making sure that your goal is also measurable so that you are able to measure your goal, whether it be dropping your dress size or having a goal that's based around where you once were a year ago, things like that. Making sure that your goal is also achievable. So it should be a bit of a scary goal, but you know that you can get there. With goals, guys, we want to make sure that they're not so overwhelming for you that you give up on yourself. So making sure that your goal is achievable and you know that you can do it. Everyone here in this group and all of the coaches are behind you and backing you the whole way. A relevant goal as well. So something that is based for you. So making sure that your goal is relevant to your day-to-day life or just your lifestyle in whole. And a time-based goal. So 9 times out of 10, guys, if someone sets a goal and they have an end date, they are more likely to achieve that goal than someone's just like, oh, by the end of the year. It's like, is it by the 25th, by Christmas, or by the 31st, by New Year's? Do you have a wedding coming up or some sort of important event? Are you going overseas? Are people coming to visit you that you haven't seen in a while? Think about all of these SMART goals when setting your 8-week and your 6-month goals. Make sure you write them down on the piece of paper, guys, as well, so you can come back to your goals. You also see that you have a why do you want to hit these goals. So it's really important to have a why, something that you can come back to on those days that you're just not sure you can do it anymore, or you don't know if you can make it into the gym, or you haven't meal prepped and there's nothing convenient for you to have at home. So you then go out and buy that easier option that may not be the better option. So when you write down your why, guys, make sure it is relatable to you and that it is something that will really switch your mind up when you come into those days. Then we come into diet versus flexible dieting. So other diets or meal plans we've gone over before, whether they be keto or intermittent fasting, high fat, low carb, low fat. There's so many diets out there that are so easily accessible, but not always the best one for you. We find that flexible dieting is going to be the best result end-wise, as it is just fitting the foods that you eat already in your day-to-day life and either making the healthier option or just doing little changes here and there that will be able to sustain you instead of getting that quick fix of a cookie-cutter meal plan, getting amazing results and then going back to eating how you usually do and not being able to sustain those results. It all comes down to being in a calorie deficit. So if your goal is to lose weight or drop body fat, you have to make sure that you are in a calorie deficit. We will be doing this today and figuring out your calories through the TDEE calculator. So just hang on a minute until we get to there, and then you guys will understand more about being in a deficit. And remembering that calories are king. If I've had a nutrition consult with you before, you would have heard me say it a lot of times. You cannot out-train a bad diet. So you can do as many doubles or triple sessions in the world, but if you are not fueling your body correctly, then you will not be getting those amazing results that you might deserve just because your nutrition is not on track. Your calories, your BMR, and your TDEE. So with your calories, it will all come down to your total calorie intake. So energy in versus energy out. Train more, eat more. Train less, eat less. Making sure that you remember that you are fueling your body through the foods that you're eating. With your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories your body burns at rest. So we always want to make sure that we're never eating under your BMR. You can find your BMR on your InBody scan if you have that with you as well. So when you are setting your calories, always making sure that you're eating over your BMR. And your TDEE, so your total daily energy expenditure. So how much you burn with exercise and lifestyle. The way we calculate this, guys, is through an actual TDEE calculator from all measurements of you. So your gender, your age, your weight, your body fat percentage, all of these factors come into how you as a person will dictate your calories, also through your activity level. So how many days you're training a week, what you do for work, etc. So with your calories and setting up MyFitnessPal, your number one goal is hit your calories daily. No matter what, on MyFitnessPal, you should be hitting your calories within a 10% higher or lower every single day. Goal number 2 is to hit your protein target. So you'll also see on the PDF attached in this page, the flexible dieting sheet, that your protein target is going to be 2.2 times your body weight, will be the amount of grams that we want you to have as your protein target per day. And goal 3 is the rest of your calories are made up with your carbs and fats. So if you have your protein set and your calories set, your carbs and your fats can make up the rest of your calories there. Remembering that this means if you go over your fats one day but under your carbs, it doesn't matter as long as number 1, you hit your calories, number 2, you hit your protein target, and number 3, your carbs and your fats are making up the rest of your calories. So here, guys, is a pre-recorded video that I did on how to figure out your TDEE. Just make sure you have your phone out, and I will play this one now. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to show you how to calculate your calories on the TDEE calculator. So your TDEE is your total daily energy expenditure, and what this is a calculator to figure out the calories to put you in a deficit if your goal is weight loss, or to put you in a surplus if your goal is muscle gain. So all we have to do, either on your phone or on your computer, is type in TDEE calculator into Google, and you'll see the first one is the TDEE calculator.net, which is the one that we want to be using. Once we get there, guys, you'll see that it has all of your basic info. So for myself, if I'm filling this out, I'll press female. I'm 22 years old. I'm currently weighing 73 kilos. I know that my height is 177 centimeters, and I'm training 5 to 6 days a week. But during the day, I'm not always active. So I'm going to leave my activity level at moderate. If you find that you are training a lot as well as having a high activity job, then you can think about going to heavy, but I'd say majority of you are sitting around that moderate or light exercise. My body fat's currently sitting at 22%, so from there, I'm going to press calculate. Once this loads, guys, you can see that number there is 2,480. So that is my maintenance calories at the moment. If I scroll down, I can go to my cutting phase, so I know that a 500 calorie deficit will leave me at 1,980. Because my body fat is under 23%, I'm not going to go into such a big deficit for the time being, so I'm happy to stick with my calories at 2,100. If you're over 23% body fat, going into a 500 calorie deficit is ideal. If you're under 23% body fat, a 300 to 400 calorie deficit is perfect for you. If your goal is to put on muscle, you will then go to the bulking phase. You can see that with a 500 calorie surplus, your calories will go up. I wouldn't recommend going into a 500 calorie surplus straight away. Just try and ease into it. So starting off with a smaller surplus of 2 to 300 and then increasing the more muscle that you want to put on. The whole idea of your maintenance calories, guys, is to be able to have them in the long run as a goal. So once you've achieved your results and you're at your goal weight or goal body fat percentage, you want to try and keep your maintenance calories as high as they can, as they will be the amount of calories that you consume day to day without being in a deficit or without being in a surplus. So the aim of the game, guys, is to build that muscle mass up, drop that body fat if that's your goal, or build that muscle mass up and have a high maintenance calories so that you can retain your results without always having to go back to being in a deficit. Once again, guys, any questions, just let me know or ask one of the trainers and they will be able to help you out. Okay, guys, so I hope you figured out how to get your calories from that. You can also see on the sheet that you have your TDEE maintenance calories, your BMR, and your TDEE all on that sheet as well. So you can see the deficit. If you're above 23% body fat, you subtract 500 calories. If you're below 23% body fat, you subtract 300 to 400 calories. So I want you guys to fill out that sheet now as well, just writing down your daily calorie count. And also you can fill out your protein target. So 2.2 times your body weight is the amount of grams of protein to consume per day. So what we've done as coaches is we've created our Code 5 top tracking tips. So the number one tip is to track absolutely everything. So remember, if you are not correctly tracking your food, you are also not correctly going to get those results. Just because you do not put something in MyFitnessPal and you eat it does not mean it does not exist. If you have half a chocolate block, track it. Just because you eat it and you didn't put it in MyFitnessPal, the calories are still going in your mouth and you are still consuming them. You are much better to be tracking the foods that you might not usually track to see where you are going wrong in your nutrition. There will be education coming up about borrowing calories as well, so please make sure you are tracking absolutely everything that is going into your mouth. Tip number 2 is to weigh everything. So make sure you are weighing all of your food. It will be 8 weeks of 110% tracking your food, guys, which will then help you for the rest of your life. If you are not weighing your food, once again, your calories can go off. If you're saying, oh, this piece of meat is only 100 grams, but you're not weighing it, and maybe it's a 200 gram piece of meat, which then can throw off your calories, your protein target, your fat target, and everything in between. So make sure you grab yourself a pair of kitchen scales and weigh absolutely everything. I promise that in the long run it will help you long term, as you'll then just know serving sizes and portions instead of just guessing. Our number 3 tip is to plan ahead. If you have a super busy schedule like most of us do, plan your brekkies in advance. Get your oats and your overnight oats with your protein all set out for the week. Pre-cook a big batch of chicken or steam heaps of veggies, or even just prep all your veggies to have during the week so that they're all planned and ready to go to save you time in the future. Tip number 4 is to not let a bad day snowball into a bad week. Remember, guys, that one-off meal or one-off day of eating is not going to alter your results. It's when you do this multiple times a day or multiple times a week and don't get back on track. You might get to Tuesday and have an off meal and be like, oh, no, that's it. My 8-week challenge is over. I've had one bad meal. You still have 7 weeks and 6 days left of that entire challenge to get back on track and get you to your goals. Do not forget that. Number 5 is to reach out for help. Once again, we have this page to post on, which has already been happening, which is just awesome. And you have all the coaches in the gym. If you feel like your meal prep isn't going well, or you're not hitting your calories, or you find that you're going over your calories or not hitting your protein, reach out for help. Ask one of the trainers or post on the page. I guarantee that someone will be in the same boat as you. The next video, guys, is all about MyFitnessPal and how to set up your calories. So just make sure that you have MyFitnessPal downloaded already, and I'm going to play this video to get you all set up for that as well. Hey team, I'm just going to go through some easy maneuver points on MyFitnessPal for you that should be helping you through your 8-week challenge. So the first thing on the app, guys, you want to make sure that your units are all set correctly. So to do that, you just go to the More button down the bottom. You then go down to Settings, then to Profile, and then to Units. So you can see mine set up all nicely already. So I have it set in kilos, centimeters, kilometers, calories, and cups, but each to their own for your unit preferences. Once you've edited that, just make sure you press the tick, which will save those settings. To add in your calories, same thing, you go to the More button, and then goals, and then you go to the nutritional goals. So the calorie, carbs, protein, and fat goals. I know for the calories for me for my deficit is 2,100, so I'll save that. And then my protein goal, so 2.2 times my body weight is 165 grams. So I can see at the moment my protein's a little over as it's at 184. If I go down to 30%, it's at 158, which is totally fine by me as the protein goal is already set a little bit higher. So I can then edit my carbs and my fats to make the percentage total 100%. From there, I'd also save that by just pressing that tick as well. To add in your foods and everything, you go to your diary. So you can see my calories are up the top, my goal, the foods that I've eaten, and then it'll have the remaining calories as well. So when you're adding in your foods, I'll give you a demo for my breakfast. So I had oats for breakfast, so I just type in oats. I did have half a cup of oats, so that's perfect setting at the moment. If I have 1 cup, I'll just go to 2 servings, but I only had half a cup, so that's what I'll add in. I also had a scoop of protein, so I'll add in my protein there as well. 1 scoop of protein, which is perfect, and it's all added in. If you do have any pre-packaged foods, you can scan them in. So I've had a protein bar today. So the barcode button, the top right of the screen, I click onto that, scan in my protein bar, and you can see all the nutritional info there as well. I'll add that in too. For dinner, I know I'm going to have some salmon tonight, so I can add in my salmon already. So for tonight, depending how much my salmon weighs, I'll have to add that in. So it's really important to weigh all of your food raw, as the water content will either go up or drop depending how you're cooking your food. So if my salmon tonight, let's say, is 150 grams, I'll go to 1.5 and save that in there as well. So we can see at the moment I've had 710 calories so far today, and I've got 1,390 remaining. To check on my nutrition and the nutrition value, I can go to nutrients, and I can see for today that I have 88 grams left of protein, 152 grams left of carbs, and 55 grams left of my fats. Don't worry too much about your poly, mono, and your trans fats down here unless you are going a lot over, as there is no goal for those sorts of fats. I want to make sure that my fiber does come up today and that I do stay low in my sugars also. And you can keep an eye on your micronutrients, so your vitamins, iron, calcium, and etc. through there. Another good way is on the macro part of MyFitnessPal, so I can see that I had 20% carbs, 43% protein, and 37% of fats so far today, but my goals are different. So I still want to finish at each goal being 100%. Once you finish your days, guys, you can just complete your diary and make sure that you add it all in. If you have any questions about MyFitnessPal, how to add in food or any of the settings, just ask one of the coaches, or you can comment on the post that I will be creating in the 8-week challenge group. Any questions, guys, just let me know. All right, guys, once again, I hope you all got that sorted on MyFitnessPal. One thing I need to add in is the exercise on MyFitnessPal. So make sure you are not tracking your exercise that you do within or within outside of the gym, as if you add your exercise in, even if it's correct calories from your MyZone, is it will alter your calories. So your calories are already set for the activity level that you use during the week. So just make sure you are not tracking your exercise. If you are new to MyFitnessPal and your steps are set up, make sure you also delete your steps out of MyFitnessPal, because once again, that will alter your calories. So that's just in the settings section of MyFitnessPal as well. So guys, I hope you got a lot out of that recap for the seminar. Any questions at all, please just comment below and I will keep posted on this post today, or one of the coaches will get back to you ASAP. Hope you guys are looking forward to the challenge starting tomorrow. I know all of us at Code 5 are super pumped for it, and you'll have your first education block and check in on Monday morning. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, team. See ya.